So even back then, I was like super against Tren. I just read all the data on how bad it is for the brain, how bad it is for the kidneys, and that it's a necessary evil if you're an actual competitor trying to hit a stage weight on a specific date that you're not going to maintain, and that's a specific look. What is up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Today's ASMR sip is 1907 tech on 1907.com. Coupon code Russo. Young LA coupon code Russo. Intelligent Elephant Carbon. New bottle upstairs. It's completely empty. But check out this cologne. Check out my source list in the pinned comments down below. Today I'm going to be reacting to one of my old OG videos. You guys have been missing the OG content, and it is coming back. I'm recovering from this brain damage, but once that is recovered, I will be vlogging exactly how I did in the old school days, but I'm going to be reacting to my first ever experience with Tren. Anywhere you go on the internet and you see the word steroid, Tren comes right after it. I decided to document Tren publicly on YouTube. This was back when everyone was a fucking fake natty. I wasn't. I was scapegoated for being honest. Everyone in the comment section of this video is talking mad fucking shit for me just being honest. I never said I was a genetic freak in any of this, and it was just overall a very public stunt to again document what I thought of Tren. Now, I was around the age of 20-ish, and yeah, this is an old video. You can see how far I've come. I think I weigh around 220, currently 240 in the morning with abs. I proved everyone wrong, and I am here to react and weigh my insight at 26 versus 20-year-old me. So you can see the personality difference as well. Andrew, I still like my OG intro. I'm sorry. And like every time, like people be like, that shit's so loud, I had to shut it off.
What's up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Larry the Law.
Everyone give a like on my video for Bane. You know, this is almost gonna give me like a bipolar emotion breakdown because Bane died shortly after this video. He was about to turn 1, and yeah, his kidneys never worked very well, you know, his entire puppyhood. And this is, I watched this video a lot, honestly, to see this clip.
Lobster is my new goal physique, as you can see from the sunburn. But I wanted to vlog today. I've been saying on Instagram, yo, Russo, when you gonna make that videos again, you know? Now I was thinking, what way could I come back to YouTube with a bang? I'm really well known.
I lived in the ghetto back then, so I lived in, I'll have Andrew throw up like Aliquippa News. So this was in the ghetto. I called it the trap house. I actually loved this house, you know, and this brings back a lot of nostalgia of me ran away from my parents' house to chase my dream in the trenches, in the mud, in the hood, and grinding my way up to this studio. This is very, very crazy for me to rewatch this, honestly.
Known for, or was known for, my other YouTube channels, the cycle log. So I would tell you exactly what my lab rat was running, exact dosages, and then I would not fucking sugarcoat it, and
I was like the only influencer back then, and it was, I remember when I was younger, I was very, obviously more immature, but like just angry seeing all these fucking liars get all the exposure, all these fake alphas get the exposure. Well, the Sigma, oh, no one's gonna know him for years to come. And I already had that intelligence and wisdom back then that I was gonna be scapegoated a long time before I was loved. And each one of these videos where I'm showcasing what everyone else, all your favorite influencers from my era, of the come up, of the Jersey Juice gang and all of them, you know, I was over there in the corner being completely almost too real, right? I'll say it like that, caught up in all that bullshit, but I did not sugarcoat nothing, and I do hold myself to that pedigree of not bullshitting people.
Say all the side effects and then post my progress in the gym as well as do physique updates. You know, I documented everything my lab rat has ever taken to get to this point. So
this transformation, so like this is like a pic of me 9th grade year in high school, I believe. I weighed 138 pounds because I was able to make the 138-pound weight class if I wanted to. I wrestled 145, and then this is me at 220. I believe this was on Sustanon and S23. I suffered really bad from androgenic acne. That normally happens when you juice too young. You get crazy androgenic acne, and I could not get it to go away, and I did not want to dose Accutane. I actually ended up microdosing Accutane a little bit. I never did like a traditional professional medical way of doing Accutane. I would microdose it, but I was always covered in acne back in the day from the gear, fucking with the androgenic DHT acne.
That being said, there was a certain compound that everyone wanted documented, and that's Tren. Trenbolone sandwich, of course, because we're on YouTube, aka YouTube. Anyways, moving forward, Tren. Yes, Tren. Everyone wanted that documented. You know, personally, I'm not, the most extreme. I know people like to make me out to be, an extremist. But, I would really...
Yeah, I always want to touch on that. Everyone was like, oh, Russo's the most extreme abuser out there, where my cycles were fucking... People still online make fun of how little and baby my cycles are and want me to take a real cycle. But back then, I was scapegoated fucking heavily for being the most risky mofo, when in reality, I was being hyper-calculated on harm mitigation and showcasing side effects from such a young age that this has to be fully transparent. Education and enlightenment is key. Just downplaying it or saying TRT only, bro, that was never gonna work. But these cycles weren't really that crazy. They weren't really that crazy. Especially, I'll have Andrew throw up the reaction I just did with the kid who had a heart attack. The cycles I was doing at his age, which is this, was about like half of what he's doing now. And that's what he's reading on the internet that the other bigger people are doing. So
I've only done minor test cycles with SARM stacked on top. I've never gone.
So I was very into the SARM content. I think SARMs are great in the efficacious dosages, aka the lower dosages. They obviously kind of fall apart side effect profile wise as you dose them higher, except for the more powerful SARMs that are just as bad for you as gear. S23, RAD 140, RAD 150, LGD 3303, LGD 4033. All these compounds are pretty fucking strong, right? I have a lot of big IFBB pros who mess around with YK11, LGD 4033, S23, RAD, and they say it holds up in their cruises. So I was really about bringing light to do a hybrid cycle, and I was documenting stuff that, again, wasn't the tried and true method. I knew the tried and true method. I knew the regular cycles. I was dabbling in the new come up stuff, the new age chemicals.
To blasting multiple compounds, just a SARM with a base of testosterone to keep functions normal towards the 8-week mark is what I've gone up to, built myself up to. And then before that was...
Andrew, I'm like talking like Doug DeMuro. I'm using all these like hand gestures like this!
SARMs only cycles. So yeah, people wanted me to jump into Tren just because I think they like the way I document everything, and then they learn a lot from my experience, which...
Dane is like so fucking bored. He's like, oh my god, how long is this motherfucker gonna talk?
Is bring me to my first Tren cycle. Yay. I should be excited. I'm about to make all these gains, blah, blah, blah. Personally, if I wasn't offered these Trenbolone sandwiches for free, I probably never would have even gone through with it. I'm never really gonna touch Tren again, unless I'm in a contest prep situation where,
So even back then, I was like super against Tren. I just read all the data on how bad it is for the brain, how bad it is for the kidneys, and that it's a necessary evil if you're an actual competitor trying to hit a stage weight on a specific date that you're not going to maintain, and that's a specific look, and you want to make the best look possible for a certain date. Tren can play a role, but I never was going to dabble hardcore with Tren. Even back then, I had this mentality.
It's necessary, but definitely not going to be a staple. And I'm highly not glorifying Tren in any way, shape, or form. It is by far the most side effect ridden androgen, pretty much, that's been made super popular. Everyone thinks gear steroids, they think Tren. Everyone thinks Tren. Well, I'm a science guy. I like looking at science, and there's a lot of stuff that Tren does that you don't want to be going on, and has a lot to do with what it does in the brain that I'm not really a fan of, as well as the other toxic effects that it has. So this is going to be a 5-ish week experiment. I won't even call it a cycle. I'm just going to let the Trenbolone E sandwiches kick in. I haven't been on YouTube in a while. It feels weird talking to a camera, to be honest, but hopefully things. But I wanted to leave this video off on my first impressions of Tren, and it's really not that positive, to be honest. So it has been a little over 2 weeks with an end date, so it's starting to kick in. I really didn't notice much at all.
So I documented Tren E, right? So Tren E's not really gonna hit until week 4, and I remember week 4 I decided to drop it because I did not like the mental effects at all of Tren E. I didn't respond well. I was already feeling it build up on week 2, and this is what I noted at age 20-ish.
Till about 2 or 3 days ago is when I really noticed it kind of kick in. And I forget what I started weight-wise, honestly. I think I was around 215 pounds at 5'11", and I'll weigh myself tomorrow. I really haven't been watching the scale, but in the mirror, the past 4 days, there has been a dramatic recomp. Now, I can't really tell, because I'm doing this with a Sustanon base as well, if it's just that, I was natty, shrunken down to nitrogen retention, that, finally, my nitrogen retention came back from the test. Can't really tell. But what I can say is, and I'll throw up some training footage now, strength really hasn't really kicked in. I haven't really noticed much of a difference with that. I will say, the one day pre-workout, I did decide to go with YK11. You can see that clip here. All right, about to go train back. I did want to share the pre-workout stack. So for my lab rat, I got 10 mg of YK11. So this is a DHT roid SARM hybrid. For my lab rat, I'm going to be dosing 10 mg pre-workout. And I also have the new beta batch of, I think this is idea mixing YK11 with Tren, because my eyes were bloodshot, my blood pressure, never had an issue with it before until that night. And yeah, don't mix pre-workout YK11 and Tren together and expect for your blood pressure to hold together. Duh. But another thing my girlfriend noticed was my body temp the past 2 days sleeping. I haven't really had insomnia, but the night sweats for sure. She says it's like...
So back then I was still building my base physique, so I was power building. I was building a lot of strength, building that hardcore, hard to lose muscle that comes from a strength base. So I was still training like a quote unquote natural bodybuilder with progressive overload. So I wasn't going to be as full and bubbly back then, and I knew that. I very much recently changed to a more bodybuilder-esque physique from changing my training style, but I'm very happy that I put in all those younger years where you see me clanging and banging. Like I said, this comment section, I'll read it at the end, but everyone was calling me small as fuck, and that was actually the coin comment for my younger OG videos was small as fuck, where I was 5'11", 215. I was not small, but visually speaking, because I'm such a lanky frame, it takes a long time to fill out.
Like sleeping next to a furnace. I noticed it kind of like it's similar to DMP, to where if I eat a whole bunch of carbs, my metabolism is cranked, it's burning it all off, and the one night I had pasta right before I went to sleep, and I kind of woke up in a puddle. So that was something to note. Mentally is what I've been most interested about, and it's strange, to be honest. It's not kind of what I was expecting. I was expecting outright aggression, similar to RED 140 S23. I've had experience with, compounds that make you more aggressive before. So I was really kind of like feeling it out. And it's not like that. It's more like, kind of like an antisocial vibe, where I kind of just more to myself, less social, I feel like. It's really not, hasn't been that dramatic, I'm sure, at the higher dosages it is, but I haven't really had like outright aggression, like things haven't got me triggered faster like other compounds have, but it's just like this weird undertone.
Andrew, like when you're editing this, you'll see the bird chest chronicles was really the bird chest. Like you can see all my other muscles are developed, but I have like no chest. So this took 6 years to get my chest to like a normal level compared to everything else, and it's just so funny to see that everything else was so developed, but I couldn't build my chest to save my life.
Of, kind of stick to myself type of deal. More side effects. I just want to bang them off that. These are my first impressions. Besides, okay, positives, the recomp, definitely noticeable. I'm just like the whole 9 yards. I'm going to give it more time, so I'm going to document this entire cycle the rest of the 4 other weeks I have left of this, and you guys can see the actual results, but I want to get the side effects off of that. So, insomnia, I haven't noticed anything yet. Trend sweats did notice, body temp increased, blood pressure definitely on the higher end. I am utilizing cardarine for my lab rat to help negate that effect. But overall, the mental aspect is definitely more to myself. So that's kind of like my first impressions of what I think of it. Honestly, the amount of sides I've had past 3 or 4 days has already turned me off from it, and this is a Nen thing, so acetate and parabolin are like way stronger. But I'm sure they're way more in your face with the side effects. But yeah, I'm going to continue it out. I'm going to document more. As you can see, I put some baseline posing footage for you guys, as well as kind of where my strength is at. It really hasn't changed since I've been natural yet. Hopefully it goes up. I was doing kind of more reps natural than the night I decided to record chest, but a lot of stuff going on that day, so everyone has their bad days in the gym. But yeah, looking forward to getting back on YouTube, and looking forward to just...
Okay, so what I can note is that obviously the trend did not kick in fully. And that is how I looked at 20 years old on gear. You know, everyone made fun of me, said I looked natty as fuck. And people don't realize it takes a long time for the average person to build a quote unquote enhanced looking physique. It does not happen overnight unless you're a hyper responder. I'm not. I'm the grinder. I'm the little guy proving that you can still do it. I just grind up the totem pole slower. You know, it's like when I read this comment section, I read this comment section a few weeks ago because it just, I loved proving everyone wrong. I loved it. You know, I loved all the hate. You know, I stoked the fire with the hate. And sometimes you gotta do that on the other side. I know there's a lot of people on the other side of this camera with big goals and ambitions, and people are gonna stab at them. You gotta feed off that. I do personally. And I obviously love all the love now, but that love was much different back then, right? I had a cool hardcore fan base that knew, you know, you had to be higher intelligence in my opinion, that knew what I was about and knew what I could theoretically become as long as I stayed on the tracks and didn't fucking fall off the rails. But for the most part, because I didn't quote unquote look the part rapidly or have the knowledge base that I do nowadays, that everyone discredited me for just being completely outright honest and transparent about my experiences. There's no like justification on certain people abusing these fucking synthetic androgens that will never be replicated in real life without deciding to abuse them. There's no specific maturity level, age. It's just like, I can make arguments if you start blasting, right? I'm talking about abuse here. Abusing gear later, I can make arguments that it's worse than abusing gear early, or you're fucking up your life if you abuse it early for the rest of your life being a slave to the needle, where maybe if you weighed it out, like all these factors, and I was just being completely honest and eating the brunt of it. So I did want to read a couple of these comments. This is a perfect example for all the guys who look like bodybuilders on Insta, and if they took Tren, they'd look like them. No, you won't. It's all about genetics. I do agree. You shouldn't be comparing yourself to 0.01% genetic outliers on Instagram thinking that, oh, it's just their cycle. It's really a lot more than that. You get a lot of crap for no reason. Thanks and appreciate for everything you put out. Respect. 100% spot on the stick to yourself mental side effect. Yeah, I never got, even on Tren Ace, I get so antisocial. I don't want to talk unless it's business or like you're really close to me. I just go in the shell hardcore on Tren. I'm not outwardly, I don't have fake alpha complex. I'm not some beta that takes Tren and just gets an ego. It's like, I gotta cage it, right? It's gotta be shoved in the fucking cage on Tren, and that's how I go with it. People don't understand that even on gear, it takes time to build a physique. Don't listen to the haters. Crazy how all these people are saying you look natty, give up. Now look at the comments you get. What a beast, you prove them wrong. You're a very hard worker and it shows. I see a lot of people talking shit saying he looks natty and small in his Instagram photos. He definitely has some 3D shoulders and he's not really looking small. I think if he drops body fat to the 10% mark, he will look jacked. Yeah. I really didn't give a fuck about being the lean, broccoli-haired fucking TikTok fucks that are today that are shredded at 180. I cared about actually getting size, and I knew that I was only young once, and I didn't care about looking a bit fluffy and clanging and banging for a couple years. And then now that I'm 26, I'm gonna refine it and showcase all the work I did those past 5 years. You know, back then, if you were shredded, you had abs, you got that vascularity, you were enhanced. If you were big, you were big power lifter enhanced, you a big strongman enhanced, you a power builder enhanced, you bulked up enhanced. Oh, you look natty. That's what the dumbasses were saying online. And again, it's gone worse over the years to where dudes will stay fucking shredded year round, won't gain any tissue, and they'll be abusing more PEDs than me, not making no linear progress. Bodybuilding is about linear progress. It's not about being shredded all the time. Go look at the pros, right? They all go into off season and gain more tissue, make linear progress. You're moving forward in the race, right? You're not staying in the same place. So a lot of people came in recently and defended me from the hate. I do remember the original comment section of when this video was fresh, blowing up like the first year. Seemed like a lot of people came to my aid, and like I said, it don't fucking matter. I proved them all wrong, and I hope that everyone on the other side of this camera proves your fucking haters wrong. Like, fuck them. Like, feed off that. They're giving you free energy on the ether for free. They're fucking have you in their mind with hate, giving you that ether for free. So just keep that in mind. As far as my opinion on Tren, it still stays the same. I think it's a necessary evil in the upper echelon of competitive bodybuilding. If you're choosing to do a show, I do not believe there's a replacement for the look of it, right? The look is very hard to replicate, and it's really good for holding on to tissue, doing extreme amounts of cardio, and a horrible caloric deficit pushing below 10% body fat. Should you be messing around with in the beginning? Fuck no. know? Should you be doing it in like a summer stack? No, you should only pull the fucking big ass weapon out when you need it. Shouldn't be using it all the time. And I had that mentality back then. It fucking destroys the brain, destroys the kidneys, ruins your blood pressure, ruins your mood. Overall, you fucking sweat like a pig. You really want to get addicted to that compound out of all the other safer compounds where you look marginally like what, 15% less good of a look, but you normal, your biomarkers aren't fucked, your kidneys aren't fucked, and overall you feel like when I was on Tren, I could feel like I felt like shit. The only time I felt good is when I got in the gym and got that Tren aggression going. Other than that, I felt like fucking shit all the time mentally. So I don't understand why people get addicted to this compound other than they're beta, right? Go to martial arts gym if you actually want to learn how to fucking, you know, be an alpha, and then you'll become sigma base after you get the fucking shit beat out of you multiple times, right? There's always a bigger fish in the sea with anything. If you're a beta and you use the Tren for the fake superiority alpha god complex, that's the people who get addicted to this. Stupid. It's stupid. Any other person who already has like a base alpha or a base sigma is going to take that and they're going to become antisocial. They're not going to be their full personality, and they're going to be all on edge, paranoid as fuck. The girlfriend's cheating, someone's fucking hunting them down, someone talks shit on them, they take it to level 100. It's just like, unless you're competing and you want to look like this on a certain day and you know you're not going to maintain this look forever, and you want a stage shot, or you want to beat your competitor that you've been competing against on the stage, or you want to get that Sandow, cool. Tren plays a role. If you're a casual juice head, if you're a casual gym rat that uses PEDs, no reason. I'll see you guys in my next video.